How's it going? It's Ashley with At Home with Ashley, and we recently finished putting up a privacy fence in our backyard, and we're so excited about it. You used to could see in like multiple neighbors' yards, so this is like a huge deal, especially because we eat out here a bunch in the summer. I wanted to jazz up the fence a lot. It's beautiful as is, but I thought a mural could be really fun, so I drew one out on paper, and now I'm going to try to put that onto the fence and then paint it on. And I've never done a mural like this before, so I'm a little overwhelmed and hope I can pull it off, but I thought I'd do a video so you can follow along. Okay, so here is the drawing I did. I just did it on paper with markers that I had, and then I drew kind of a grid on it, and each little line shows a foot. And now I am taking that onto the wall, and you can see I have a yellow measuring tape at the bottom here, and that's showing how wide it's going to be. It's 10.5 feet wide. And now I'm just trying to translate this onto here, and you can tell if you look really close, I've used pencil and started with this little banner that'll be kind of in the middle, and then I'll work my way up and down, and after I draw it on I can paint, and that'll be the fun part, but this part's hard. So it's getting there though. As you saw, I started right in the middle of the fence with the middle banner. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking at the picture using a tape measure to draw the top banner, and then I could work up and then down from there. Once those were drawn in with pencils, I used a paintbrush to add in the color. So what I ended up deciding was best for me was to use this small little paintbrush to do the outline so I could get a nice clean finish, and then fill that in with a bigger brush. So always use the biggest brush that makes sense, and having two for pretty much every element of this mural worked best for me. Once the banners were painted in, I took black paint and outlined them so they really popped, and I did the same thing with the words. They're in black. Once those were all painted, I was like anxious to kind of get some color on this thing. It was slow going getting it started, so adding the first flower, this peony, was really fun for me to do. And all I did was I looked at my drawing and I just translated what I saw a little bit bigger onto the fence, and I started with my outline, and then I went back in and filled it in with a bigger paintbrush. And now, even though it's hard to see, sorry, I am painting on a stem and a leaf, and I got a little bit smarter and I started taping the art onto the wall with just painter's tape, and then I could reference it really quickly and keep my hands empty. So that was nice. So what worked best for me was to go from element to element. So I did the banners, the words, then the pink peonies, and now the yellow flowers. And I first did the outline of them, filled them in, and then I came back and added details, and then adding in the leaves was actually really fun because it was fast and it added a bunch of color all at once, which was really awesome. Then I went back through with while looking at the drawing and added in more details, more smaller flowers. I went from kind of the biggest element to the smallest element. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how the fence turned out. It's whimsical and fun and just kind of like breaks up the boring white fence. So that's all good, and it was kind of just a cheap way to add like a big statement wall. I think it'll be fun to have this to take pictures in front of, and it just makes the backyard a little bit special. So if you liked this project, give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much.